Looks like your question is answered. So, no, here we are.
Here we
A
are.
couple minutes late. We apologize. We're having a little bit of fun, joking a little bit in the background before we got started. Having so much fun, Terry and I, beforehand, that we just lost track of time, right, Mr.
That's
Terry?
right. Yeah, absolutely. So
Yes, that happens behind the scenes. Maybe someday we'll B-roll all that stuff and we'll put it out there for you. But today is Terrific Terry Tuesday at Parx. Yesterday, Terry, I think, pretty sure we had all four pick fours. I think you had the first two and I had the second two. Is that right?
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
that's nice.
was I did really well myself. You had 5 winners. I had 5 winners. There was one race I was very disappointed in. I don't remember the name of the horse, but it was the 5 horse. It was 9 to
Well, he
1.
fell down at the end. Yeah.
No, it's the one where he got blocked coming into the stretch and he had to
Oh.
back up, and then he came down the rail and he got the lead, and an outside horse passed him right at the end. If he had not had to pull up, he would have had more lengths ahead. He would never got caught. And and then of course my pick of the day ran second again. So
Uncle Ernie?
yeah.
Yeah, Beach Days, that 4 horse. That was a big run off the pace yesterday, too. Kind of surprised the two didn't really because he didn't really have to run hard, the two up on the front, and he still gave up that at the very end there. So that was a big win by the 4 horse, one of Terry's 5 winners.
Yep.
It's my second pick. I did make it into my pick 4, so we had all 4 pick 4s yesterday. Hopefully today we have some pick 4s as well at Turf Paradise. It is the free track at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description down below. In the first race, Straw Flying Eagle, 8-5. Well, maybe you don't like that one. Maybe you like Lolo Machete Blue. That one is the 5 horse, the second pick, a 5-1. So go ahead and go with that. 250 yards. So 5 times 5 is 25 times 10 equals 250. There's got to be some numerology in that, Terry.
I must say there should be.
Yes, and that's how I do all my handicapping, folks. Just straight up numerology. Well, it is numerology, just in a different sort of way, algorithmic as well as qualitative. Hey, Don, how are you today? Hopefully you had some of those pick 4s yesterday. Today, we're going to go ahead and give it a whirl again at Parx for Terrific Terry Tuesday. Starting off, as always, in the opener, Terry, what's it all about?
Mile and 16th. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 3 races.
And then at a mile and a 16th, you know what surprises me about Parx, Terry, is that in these long races, a lot of times the speed really holds up better than it does in the shorter races. Yeah. And we see that at a mile and a 16th because the few races that they've run so far, 47% of the time, the horse that gets the lead, keeps the lead, and cashes the 60% check. The inside 3, they get penalized pretty hard at a mile and a 16th, which is kind of surprising. 4 through 7 is a good place to be, and the worst place to be is 8 and out. We do 10,000 simulations, Terry. We do projecting the speed figure. The horse that gets the highest speed figure is considered the winner of that race. And then based upon how many times they win our 10,000 simulations, we calculate out our simulated odds. We are looking for horses whose odds at post time are higher than our simulated odds, looking for, quote, value. Based upon that, how many times they run a speed figure above par for this level, you can see Amalfi Lady, about 11% of the time in our simulations ran a speed figure of 73% or 73 or higher. Nobody else scoring there. Speed, as we mentioned, is a huge factor at Parx. So we want to know who has the best chance to get the lead. And then once we've figured out the projected pace, how likely this race is to match their best performances or putting the horse in its comfort zone. Typically, we're looking for a score of 50 or better here in the C zone. Terry, take it away. What does the data say?
Well, there's 4 horses that show some kind of speed, but that 2 shows the most speed. And that outside horse, the 8, where it's kind of bad for an outside horse on this one, shows the second most speed. The 7, as you said, has an overlay from almost about 8-5 to 6-1. The 7 also shows the only par plus number, as you were talking about. And all of them but the 1 show good C zones.
Mm-hmm. Along with the simulations, we do trip handicap, and we try to cover all the bases here, right? We're like home run hitters, Terry. We're not looking for singles, doubles, triples. We want to touch them all. So with our trip handicapping, we plot out on the chart where the horse wants to be when it runs its best race. Here you see the 8 horse wants to be the pilot. 2 and 7 want to be co-pilots, EPs, pilot or co-pilot, so have a little bit of versatility. The 4 horse in here can pressure or close. Sometimes these PC types can even get up onto the lead, so they tend to be the most versatile horses in horse racing. The 1, 3, 5, and 6 want to close early on. Let's see if the 8 can be a lone E. Does look like he has a little bit more speed than Moonlight in Heaven, according to its recent pace. That's about 3/4 of a length faster than the 2 horse. At the end of the race, Amalfi Lady, the pressure horse, has the most late speed. Reaching Stride, the closer, also has some late speed. Look, there we got No More Diamonds. That 8 horse can get to the lead, has enough late speed to maybe hold him off at the end there, Terry. Our top total pace horse, 2 of them, the 7 and the 8, grayed out, considerably better than everybody else. Are we missing something here, Terry, with the 4 on top?
We might be, but I do like that 4 Dixie Groove. She won our last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I like the 5 as my second choice. Reaching Stride ran second versus similar to her last race. She was the favorite in that race, but lost, as you can see, running second. But she has a trainer who wins 24% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back, and she can handle this distance today. And then the 7 is my third choice. She finished third versus similar to her last race and has won 2 races at today's distance. And then 11 months later is my long shot, the 3. She has a trainer who wins 25% of the races in the second start with this trainer, and her early speed running style will help her chances. We do a normal $2 to win on our first pick, a $50 exacta box on our first 2 picks, a 50-cent trifecta box on our first 3 picks, and a 10-cent superfecta box on our first 4 picks. No additional bets in this race for me.
So, Sean Patrick Nolan, how are you, my friend? Long time no talk. Hopefully everything in your world is going very well. Sean, a great ambassador for horse racing. All right, Mr. Terry, for me, I like the 4 horse too. That is my top choice. Ran the top last race, speed figure last time out, 9 points better than anybody else. Again, Andrew Byer, if you pick up any of his books, will tell you the minimum you're looking for is a 3-point advantage. That's 3 times that. The horse did run a Z pattern last time out where the early pace was a little bit higher, a little bit of a rest in the middle of the race, found its second wind and rebounded and in the stretch. Going to catch a weight break today, so should maybe improve off of that 9-point speed figure advantage. Amalfi Lady, the 7 horse, a little better fractions last time out, despite the fact that the horse ran longer, go longer, run faster. That's doubly fast. No More Diamond. This one here doesn't look like it on paper, Terry, but could be the lone E in the race. Probably on the lead today, according to a couple of our, according to our pace analysis. Maybe not our simulators, but should be in the mix that way too. And to help that advantage, a 10-pound weight break today. That equals 2 lengths, folks, roughly. And then finally, the 5 horse, Reaching Stride, one of the early morning line favorites in there. Might have the most upside in the race. But the last race was the first time their horse ran at Parx after coming in from Penn. Terry, you know I absolutely love those Penn to Parx horses.
Yeah, I know you do.
It ran second last time out, I think beaten by 6 lengths. So on paper, that says, hey, wait a minute. The horse can handle Parx.
Yeah.
You look at those fractions. Oh, my God, were they slow. And he still lost by 6 lengths. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the Penn to Parx one that upsets me because I badmouth it all the time. I love the Penn too, but I'm just saying you have to pay attention to trends because trends are your friend until no longer trends. Race
Right.
number 2, Terry, we're going to shorten up a little bit here.
We're shortening up to 5.5 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races.
And at 5.5 furlongs, the profile of a winner for benefits. Again, get to the front, get to the winner's circle. Terry, get your picture taken, smile, and say cheese, because 47% of the time they go wire to wire. They don't do it from the rail, though, Terry. None so far have scored from the red 1 position. So Miss Alex is going to have its work cut out for it today. 2 and 3 are bad too, Terry. So you don't want to be on the inside 3. The best place to be is post 4 and out. The farther you are from the rail, surprisingly, the better off you are. So we're looking for the Buffalo Girls with outside speed in race number 2, Terry. The outside speed scratched. So that leaves one other horse that looks like it should dominate early.
Yeah, and that makes that horse a little bit almost outside. It's the 5, has the most speed. And then a couple of other ones show a little bit of speed. The 2 has an overlay from 3.5 to 1 to 5 to 1. And the 5 has an overlay from almost 4 to 1 to 5 to 1. The 6 shows the only par plus number, and all of them show some kind of a C-zone number.
Yeah, indeed. Our trip handicapping, let's see if we have any race advantages here. Well, the 6 is a lone closer. The 2, 5, 1, and 4, they want to be middle to 4. So kind of a balanced race. Typically, if you get to the front in these types, you have a good shot. The Furminator, a great tool to take the fur off your dogs. I've tried a lot of things. We have a lab that sheds like crazy, my chubby blonde girlfriend, Peach, and the Furminator is the best. So we don't get any promotion for that, but if you're looking for a good thing to shed your dog, the Furminator, go get it. It should go get the lead on the way home in here, Terry. The horse with the most late speed is Cedar Valley. Really not going to be all that far off the pace here. So it looks like Cedar Valley should sit second or third. So more of a pressure horse today than a closer. Try to use those late legs to come on home first. Does have a 6-point total pace advantage over the next closest horse, Scintillating Star. So it looks to me like the 6 sits second or third, Terry, runs by in a stretch for the W. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I do. I like that 6, Cedar Valley. She finished third versus similar last race, and she has the highest last speed rating. Then the Fumerator, number 2, is my second choice. She likes Parx racing. She's finished in the money 44% of the races and won 19% of those. Number 4, Road to Dreams, is my third choice. She finished third versus similar in her last race and has a high percentage winning jockey. The 5 is my long shot. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Normal bets in here, but we do what's called a Don Johnson Miami Vice pick 4s. And my first one is the 2-6 with the 1-2 with the 1-2 with the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8. It's a $24 cost.
So I can go 2-2-2-2-2 for Terry. Like that's the Moses Malone or the Noah pick 4, 2x2x2x2. Well, Moses went 4x4. He's a 4-4-4-4-4 when they won the championship way back in the 80s with Mo Cheeks and Billy Cunningham, if you remember basketball in those days. I do. That's when I was a kid, so dating myself. I'm going to go with Cedar Valley. For the second race in a row, Terry, we have a horse that has a strong speed rating advantage over the rest of the field. 7 points clear of the next closest horse. Total pace +6. Whenever I see that combination, it usually does pretty well. Has the most late speed, as I mentioned, should be right off the lead. The unfortunate thing is so many times these horses finish second, Terry. They look like they're, I'm not going to say unbeatable, but they look like the race should be theirs. And for some reason at Parx, they finish second a lot. So if that's the case, the Furminator might be the one that you want to back here. Does run back to its March 5th race. That would be a winner. Scintillating Star in the money 50% of that time at Parx, has some early speed. Maybe cutting back in distance helps. And then finally, Road to Dreams, the 4-horse, some decent workouts prepping for the first race after a short rest. My Don Johnson pick 4. I think the 2 or the 6 are the most likely winners in this race, Terry. Then the 1, 2, 6, then the 1, 2, 4, and then the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. I only left the 6 off on the back end. Otherwise, our pick 4s for Don Johnson and the Miami Vice crowd look very similar. Race 3, Terry. Oh, before we go to race 3, I want to say thank you real quick because I almost forgot about this. I've been asking folks for the last couple of days to hit us up with the subscribe on YouTube to get us over that 5,000 barrier. So we finally got over that yesterday. Thanks to everybody who follows along. And it's really quite humbling to know that 5,000 people hit the subscribe button. I know it pales in comparison to the people who have millions and millions and millions. That's our next goal. Millions and millions and millions. But we do appreciate it. So now we got about 4,990 to go to get to 10,000. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button and you're one of those 4,990 that hasn't helped us get to 10 grand yet, please hit the subscribe button now and then follow us on all of our social sites down there below. All right, Terry, now that the self-promotion is out of the way, what are we doing in race 3?
It's a mile race. It's a maiden claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, $19,000 purse for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
Yes, and at 1 mile, again, surprisingly, early speed at these routes does really well. 46% of the time, they go wire to wire, and in this case, the rail gets a big-time bonus. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 and 7 are the worst place to be. 8 gets the same bonus as the rail. So you're looking for horse on the inside with speed, the rail horse, or on the outside with speed. Terry, there's an 8 horse out there, and it looks like all the speed is in the middle of the track, but everybody with some chance to get the lead.
Yeah, they all show some kind of speed, but the 3, 4, and 5 have the most speed in here. So it's just anybody's guess who's going to get to that quarter pole first. That 1 has an overlay of 4 to 5 to about 7 to 2. The 1 shows the only par plus number, and the 4, 5, and 3 show the best C zone, or the only C zones.
And our pace shape for this, look, everybody wants to pressure or close. Typically get to the front here, you got a good shot to win. And in this case, Harrison C looks like it could be the one on the front. Although Lord CB silent mode, as we saw in our simulations, a lot of them have some opportunity. Only 9 points from top to bottom means you stumble at the start, you bump into another horse. You could be first, you could be worst. Late speed says Shadow Man will be first with the late speed ability. Practically Mine, about a length behind that. Big drop off from there. So looks like Shadow Man in here, Terry, has the most complete package, a 9-point total pace advantage over Practically Mine. Who's your winner?
I like Practically Mine over Shadow Man. I like the 1. He finished 3rd versus Simmer in his last race. The rail post winning 27% clip, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the Shadow Man. Number 2, he comes in from Aqueduct to try Parx Racing, has a high percentage winner, trainer, and jockey, and Lasix and blinkers are added today. Silent Mold, the 3 is my 3rd choice, drops in class today, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Number 6, Harrison, is my long shot. He ran 2nd his last race, and he has the highest last race speed rating. Just the normal bets in this race for me.
So Scary says, not sure how Paco loses race number 3. Paco riding the 2 horse Shadow Man. Well, you never know. He could get DQ'd, right?
He
could get in somebody's way. Well, Shadow Man is a track dropper coming in from Laurel Park. It is also a class dropper, getting first-time Lasix, getting gelded for the first time. Looks like the connections are trying to do anything to win here. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, you change tracks, you drop in class, you put the Lasix, you do the gelded. Sometimes that concerns me a little bit because I feel like they're trying to do too much. So they're just throwing against the wall to see if anything sticks. And that stuff against the wall and anything sticks doesn't always work. Harrison C, the 6 horse, your long shot, ran by far his best race last out, Terry. Takes another step forward in the 3rd start after a layoff. That would be more than enough to beat this group. The 1 horse, Practically Mine, does have an opportunity to be better in the 3rd start after a layoff. And last time out, some indications that could happen as it improved in the first half mile pace-wise. Then finally, Birthday Bond Rob hit par for this level. So one of the few horses that's done that and gets a 10-pound weight break today. Again, perhaps as much as a 2-length advantage. Does look like they're about ready to get running in race number 1, right, Terry?
Yeah, it does. But I think let's see, they maybe
looks like they scratched the 1 horse.
Yeah, the 1 horse got scratched.
Yeah, so maybe a few more minutes then before they get themselves organized and into the post there, because they're circling the horses behind the gate again. I love when they do these type of things, Terry. Well, the 1 horse shouldn't be too difficult. Well, they do kind of have to move everything down, but let's see. Are they going to go? I wish I had a better, like a more panned out view. Are they just walking back around to go back into the gate, Terry? Can you tell?
Yeah, they look like they're circling behind the gate.
Yeah, I don't know that we have time to do race number 4. We probably could come close to doing it. In the meantime, now they're going back into the gates, it looks like now. So in the meantime, folks, if you haven't, subscribe to our Facebook page. Got a lot of great stuff there. Sean, Swiss Army Sean, putting up a lot of good information. You see here, Chris Elliott, first career win, first career mount. Wow, that's pretty good at Lone Star. He won race 3 aboard Are You More Starter, son of Stuart Elliott. Remember that guy, right?
Yeah, we do.
Who won a lot of races himself. He's trying to avoid the traditional first race abuse. But so be it, right?
Yeah.
Again, free picks today at Turf Paradise for a guaranteed tip sheet. There is a link down in the description down there below. We are starting to get prepped and ready for the Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby. A little more than a week away, so keep an eye on that. You can head over to the mothership. There is a link to horseracingtoday.net in the description down there below. And head over there and hit the HRT gear button if you'd be so kind. Support the show with a Horse Racing Today hat. Or you can get a shirt that has the apron on there. So like the number 1 horse, the number 2 horse, that sort of thing. All right, so it looks like they're loading up for race number 1 after killing some time there. Right now, the 4 horse is your favorite at 4-5. The 5 horse is your second choice at 5-2. So those 2 are prohibitive favorites relative to the rest of the field. The 7 horse is next up at 6-1. Just looking at the board, it does look like the 7 horse offers the most value right now. Our simulation odds say it should be more like 3-2, and it's 6-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all in there. Just a Paquette about ready to tell us what's going on. In the meantime, I will do my best to let everybody know what I see. And then they're all in. And the opener is off and running. The 4 horse kind of stumbled a little bit there, Terry. Nose to the dirt. So could make it a little difficult for that one to live up to its favorite status. The 3 horse down on the rail 11 months later did get the lead. And right now my computer has decided it wants the buffer. So circling on my screen, but not necessarily able to tell you what's going on. All right, so they continue to run. Looks like right now the two horse Moonlight in Heaven has taken the lead. The 8 horse, that's a big price there, to 13-1, Terry. That one has moved into third. The 3 horse is in second, and they're opening quarter 24-2. I think the 8 horse is getting a good stocking trip outside the 3. Those 2 should be coming right now. The 4 horse, the favorite, has rallied himself back into contention down on the rail by saving ground after that tough start. 5 horse, about 4 lengths off from the nose of the 3 to the tail of the 5. A little bit of a break back from there to the 6 and the 7. Opening half and 49-4, so not all that fast. The 3 horse has dipped its nose to the front. The 8 horse, the jockey standing straight up on that guy. So it looks like he's got a good chance to run on by at a pretty good price. 4 horse getting himself into the mix right now. He's going to try to dip down to the rail because the 3 opened it up a little bit. Despite that tough start, does look like the 4 horse is going to run away with this race. I think the 8 horse might give him a little bit of run for the money, but not much. The 7 horse really not getting involved in there, Terry. So the 4 horse is going to be your runaway winner. It's going to go 4, and then it looks like the 6 is going to get the better of the 8 at the end. 4, 6, 8, 3. What's interesting about this race, Terry, and what I noticed yesterday, and especially in the second half of the card, it does look to me like yesterday closers won in the second half of the card. You saw the 4 get off to a tough start and come from off the pace. You saw the 6 rally into second. You saw some of the speed fade. So maybe the Parx track is switching right now before our eyes to a little bit of a off the track, off the pace bias.
Yeah, could be.
So the 4 horse won the first race, Rennie Salas at Parx. The 6 horse finished second, and then I think the 8 horse managed to hold on to third with the 3 horse in fourth. So 4, 6, 8, 3 in your opener. Kaisi Feisey's picks there. Screenshot that, folks, for the rest of the day. Meanwhile, Terry and I will talk about race number 4 in this 10 race card.
Yep, we're going to go at 7 furlongs. It's a claiming race, 12,500. Purse, 23,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
And at 7 furlongs, the way you do win your second race, Terry, is to stalk. This is probably the distance where early speed makes the least amount of difference, only 16%, going tape to tape on the lead. The rail is fair, so Divine Romance, maybe another race Paco Lopez can't lose. 2 and 3, the bonus. 4 and 7 get discounted. The inside, the more inside, the closer to the rail, the better off you are. So we're looking for a little bit of inside tactical speed in the fourth race, Terry. And again, another race where everybody but the 3 or the 6 has some chance to take control early.
Yeah, that's true. But the 5 shows the most speed, followed up by the 2. So it's just anybody's guess of who may get there first. The 4 has an overlay from about 3 to 5 to 9 to 2. And the 4 and the 1 show the only par plus numbers, especially the 4. And then all but the 3 have some kind of a C zone number.
Yes, indeedy. So let's take a look at race number 4's trip handicapping. Yeah, look at that, Terry. Everybody wants to be middle back. The one horse in here is the Sesame Street horse. Unlike all of the others, is a PC type. Again, when you see horses that want to be middle back, folks, I mean, it does more often than not tend to favor horses that can get to the front. Although, as I mentioned, I have noticed the last few races at Parx in the afternoon and so far today, come off the pace has done well. If that changes, made birdie, my goal on every hole when I play golf, but maybe happens once or twice in a round. Does have about a 3/4 of a length advantage over a couple horses to its inside. Might get stuck a little bit wide like that. As far as the late speed is concerned, we see it win. If that's the case, Divine Romance, the PC horse, should run by them all at the end, Terry, and really not all that far off the pace against this squad. Our top total pace horses are those 2 horses where we noticed those big simulation overlays and at least 10 points better than the rest of the field. Just take the 1 to 4, box them up, call it a day, Terry. You don't even have the 4 in your picks. So you just said take the 1 and forget the 4.
Yeah, that's true. I like Divine Romance. She ran third.
Who doesn't like Divine Romance, Terry?
Everybody, I think. Anyway, we ran third versus similar in her last race as the favorite, but she has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 30% of the races when bringing this beaten favorites back. To race again, a high percentage winning jockey, the 2 Soulful Terra. My second choice, she likes Parx racing, finishing the money 50% of the time, winning 25% of the races, and the distance won't cause any problems for her as she's finishing the money 100% of the time, winning 100% of those starts. Universal Design is my third choice. The 6, she finished third in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Made Birdie is my long shot, the 7. She ran second in her last race and has a trainer, wins 18% of the claiming races that she has a horse competing in. And then I'm going to play the second pick for Don Johnson, Miami Vice. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 6, 7 with the 1, 3, 5, 8. I'm going to use the 1, 6 and finish up with the 4, 6. That's a $32 ticket.
I also like Divine Romance, Terry. Divine Romance is a horse that did run the top last race speed figure, 4 points better than anybody else. And in doing so, ran faster fractions at 7 furlongs than it did at 6 furlongs. And today, going to step back in class. Number 4, True Phenomenon, is a very consistent performer, getting incrementally better race after race after race of late. Another one that's going to drop in class, but the distance is questionable. 4 times out, hasn't found the board yet, maybe against this group. Soulful Terra making the classic third start after a layoff, the 2 horse right there, and just ran one of her best published workouts. So maybe a horse that's coming into form. Number 7, Made Birdie. I'm going to try to do that 18 times the next time I hit the course, but this one could try to be the pace setter today. Does have a maintenance workout between starts to perhaps help with the late race stamina. Race 5 is one of the middle races in the card. 10 races again today, Terry. What are we doing in this one?
All right, in race 5, we're going to go to 6.5 furlongs. It's a maiden claiming race, $30,000 claiming price, purse $28,000 for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
And at 6.5 furlongs, you want horses that can be middle forward, although a quarter of them, 1 out of 4, do win going gate to wire. A little bit of a rail bonus for Apollonia Vitelli. 2 and 3, they play under par. 4 through 7 is fair. 8 and out, a little bit of a discount. So if you can get some speed on the rail, Terry, you got a good shot here in race number 5. And, well, looks like the speed is predominantly on the outside, the fastest of them all.
It is. The 8 shows the most speed. That 8 should get that quarter pole first as long as it gets good break, followed up by the 3 and the 5. The 1 shows an overlay from even money to 2 to 1, and the 3 shows an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 7 to 2. The 1 shows the only par plus number, and 3, 1, and 5 show pretty decent C zones.
Yes. And then our race shape for this maiden claiming race for race 5, the 3 horse could be a lone E horse. 6 and 7, we don't know how much they might challenge that. 1, 5, and 8, they want to pressure. The 2 and 4 so far, not within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish wire. Looking at the early speed, does look like Go Clo Go has a little bit more step early on than Moonlight Magic, that lone E. Although with the inside post, the 3 could kind of force the 8 to go wide. Looking at the late speed, I'm a Lucky Girl. Does have a lot of late pace. Maybe not enough to chase down the 3 horse, but probably enough to finish within 5 lengths of the winner today. Our top total pace horse here is the 3 Moonlight Magic, 9 points clear of Apollonia Vitelli. But you can see this group right in here, Terry, pretty closely bunched up. The only question really is, can the 6 or the 7 challenge the 3 that's likely to get on the lead and have a shot to go wire to wire? But you see it differently.
I like the 5 Nezzy's Girl. She finished in the money in 2 of the 3 career races, running 5th after steadying at the start of her last race. And her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. She actually tied with Apollonia Vitelli. The 1, she ran second in her last race. The rail post win in 21% clip. She has switches to a high percentage jockey, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 19% of the sprint races. He has a horse running in, and her best start speed is fast among today's starters. She's my second choice. My third choice is Moonlight Magic. She finished second in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning jockey, and she has Lasix added today. The 8 Go. She closed to run second in her last race at 6 furlongs. So this longer distance may be just a plus as she's a closer, and she's my long shot. No additional bets in here for me.
So as far as watching the races on the if you're south of the border of Texas, we've been told that this is the place you want to go. This is .us, so I don't know. You don't want to probably put the .as. There you go. So that I put a link in the description here or in the comment section where you can watch the races if you are in South. Well, I mean, Mexico's in North America. So if you're in Mexico, Central America, or South America, I've been told. I can't verify that because I live in none of those places. So I haven't opened up an account down there to find out. But from what we've been told, that's the place to go. If you're overseas, like Turkey or England or wherever else folks follow us, there's probably William Hill, some offshore accounts like Bet Us that you can watch the races. I like the 3 horse in race number 5, Terry, is my top selection. Moonlight Magic, Terry. This one is a track dropper, has some early speed potential to be the lone E, as we saw. And you get to that front and you get that first shot of Lasix. Sometimes you get on afterburners at the end of the race. That's what I expect to see out of Moonlit Magic today. I'm a Lucky Girl. Does have all that late speed that we talked about in the pace scenario. And you can never, in my opinion, in a maiden claiming race, especially if a horse you can make a case to win for, pass on a maiden special weight dropper. I think this is the lone maiden special weight dropper in the field. Debuted last time. You can toss that one out because it was a sloppy track. Maybe the horse doesn't like a sloppy track. Hell, a lot of first-time starters don't like the race to begin with. It broke badly, but did have a lot of nice workouts prepping for that. So maybe a fast track, lighter competition today, maiden special weight drop. Maybe we can steal a price. Apollonia Vitelli. I probably screwed that up. Apollonia Vitelli. Most consistent performer in this bunch, Terry, and did run better fractions and early speed last time out. And then finally, Nezzy's girl, a couple of races ago, almost won at this level. If it can run the same race again today, probably is a winner like Terry has it selected. I'm going to do a double 2-3 over the 1, 5, and 7 for $1 because we have $16 to spend, and I spared a little bit of that one. Give me the 3 Moonlight Magic, says Scary Creations. Another chance dropping. Good magics are better on dirt. First time on dirt was made in special weight, adding Lasix. It is go time. Well, I hope it goes and at a good price, but I don't think we're going to get a good price on that one, Scary, unfortunately. Race number 6, Terry, we'll look for some prices here too. But before we do look for some prices, we got to know, what are they running for?
A mile, and it's a maiden claiming $30,000 claiming price, $30,000 purse. Maidens 3-year-olds.
And at 1 mile, you do want speed because it kills at a mile, Terry. 46% of the time, wire-to-wire winners. Big time rail bonus for Action Hero. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7, that's not the place to be. 8 gets the same bonus as the rail, so 8 and out. Again, so you're looking for inside speed or outside speed in race number 6, Terry. So looks like all the speed. Well, Action Hero does fit that bill for inside speed, but going to get a little bit of competition as well.
That's right. The inside speed, that 1 shows speed, but that 5 shows a little bit more speed according to our data. It's probably going to be head-to-head to that quarter pole. The 2 has an overlay from about almost 6-1 to 12-1. The 5 has an overlay from 5-1 to 6-1, and the 7 has an overlay from 3-1 to 5-1. None of them show any par plus numbers, and the only 2 horses that have any kind of C-zone is the 3 and the 1.
All right. So Terry and I with some disagreement in this race. It looks like on the top there, the 1 horse, Pressure Horse. Look at that, Action Hero. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Oh boy, those guys have stunk so far. Not been within 5 lengths of the leader. So yeah, so pick the 1 and go home, right? And that's what it looks like there. The 2 horse, Rebels Mission, going to give it a go for the first time. So maybe that one can upset. Doesn't look like, according to this, has a whole lot to beat. Early on, it does look like we're going to see some action out of Action Hero and Bottomless Refill. Those 2 should be a little bit faster than everybody else, as we saw that in our simulations as well. As far as late speed, Sheer Dominance might not be dominant at the end, but definitely going to be coming the quickest, maybe a step ahead of King Mufasa. So that should give it an edge. As far as your top total pace is concerned, Sheer Dominance, a 6-point advantage over the rest of the field. That could be enough to win by a length in here, Terry. And you think that one will win, maybe by more than a length?
I do. Number 6, Sheer Dominance, my first pick, finished 3rd versus similar in his last race, as a high percentage winning trainer whose horses win 26% of the races in the 3rd race off of a layoff. And then I like the 1, Action Hero. He ran 2nd versus similar in his last race. The rail post win at 27% clip. He has a trainer who wins 19% of the sprints to routes races, and he has a horse running in his best that he's running in, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starter. He has a high percentage winning jockey as well. Make My Day Charlie, the 7, is my 3rd choice. Has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 37% of the races in the 2nd career race a horse he trains competes in. And then King Mufasa is my long shot. The 3 finished 4th after going wide early, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. No additional bets in this race.
We have, thank you. I love the QC control here from Adalberto Ferrer. The number 6, since we have come on, Terry, has scratched.
Oh, wow.
So we need to go back and make some adjustments real quick. So while you do that, you go ahead and make your change to your picks, Terry, and I'll go ahead and talk about why I like what I like. And then, so do we have the 6 in what race is the 6, right?
Yeah, the 6th race.
So that means we got to change our pick 4s in race number 2 and stuff like that too. So you go ahead and make your changes. I'll make my changes. Thank you for that heads up. In race 6, Love Bottomless Refill. Me and Rich are eye to eye today. Not sure how good that is. That's kind of like the Ghostbusters crossing stream, Scary Creation. We're going to end the world. No question about it. Yes, I did look it up. It is. Thank you we appreciate that. I did jump off to another screen real quick. I got 2 screens here. I'm going to probably get like 5 because there's so many things going on while we're trying to produce this show. I have other things I want to do. I just got to find the time to get them done. Some more production value along those lines. Goes at 6-1. I'm playing for Derby money. Well, I like Bottomless Refill in that race number 6. And I'll tell you why I like them. Track dropper, class dropper, well bet in its debut. Going to get the first time Lasix today. That's very helpful. And has a bunch of decent workouts between races and going to carry less weight today. Going to get to the front, stay there. And at the end of the race, that Lasix is going to kick in to provide the boost it needs to get to the finish line. Action Hero, the 1 horse, did run the top last race speed figure last time out by 4 points. Did hit par, which is good too. According to Barry Meadows, if a horse hits par, no, not Barry Meadows, Mr. Quinn. If a horse hits par the race before, has a 15% chance or better to win the next race. Much better early pace as well. 2 and 4 furlong numbers better, and all of the race internals better across the board for Action Hero last time out, and does benefit from a big rail bonus and going to be close to the pace. Make My Day Charlie, the 7 horse, is a class dropper in here, Terry, from the maiden special weight ranks. Really struggling today with my ability to get the words out. Any typical second race improvement could be enough to hit par for this level, and that would likely be good enough to win. And then I have the 3 horse in there, King Mufasa, as my 3rd choice. Good chance to be up on the front there, Terry, along with the top total pace score. And then I'm going to, so the 6 is scratched. We got to take that one out of there. So let me go ahead and do that. And then I got to go ahead and change my trifecta box over here to, I'm going to go with so I got the 3 horse in there instead of the 6. So I guess I'm going to go with the 2 horse in place of the 6 horse. The back end of my trifecta here. And then we'll put the 2 in there. Now the 2 is probably going to win the race, right, Terry?
Probably.
And then I'm going to come over here and change this 6. What race are we in here? Race number 5?
Yes, 6.
6. So this is going to become the 3 horse now to reflect that. And then let's go back and change our pick 4s. Did you get yours all straightened out, Terry?
Yeah.
Pick 4?
Yeah, the one starts in the 4th race, yeah.
So instead of a 2, 3. So that's going to be race number 6, right? So 4, 5, 6. So for me, it's going to be 1, 3, 5, and 7. So let me go change that. So we have that correct. And I 100% appreciate the quality control check from our community. Unfortunately, once we go live, we don't really have the opportunity to go back and check all that out, right?
Yep.
Gary Charles Armin. Hey, Gary, how are you today? Pick 4, starting in race number 2. Is that where we're at? For this pick 4, 2, 5, 6 with the 1, 2, 6 with the 1, 2 with the 1. Oh, that must be for this race right here with the 1, 3, 5, and 6 for Derby Day. Y'all should do a video putting together a 20-cent pick 6. Last year, the pick 6 paid over $1 million. All right, Terry, you up for that?
Yeah, I am. Let's do that.
All right. We love when folks give us what's our budget, Scary Creations too. Give us a budget as well. We love suggestions. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll do a pick 6. Terry, you want to do it the old-fashioned way where we both put one together, and then between you and I, we fight it out?
Yeah, that'd be fun. We've done that before.
Yeah, so along with fighting it out, Terry and I get vetoes, and we also get locks. So if Terry puts a horse in there that I just can't stand, think it's a horrible pick, I'm going to veto his ass and not allow him to put that horse in there. And then he can counter me, though. He can say, you know what, Rich, I got one on you. I'm going to lock this in. So to hell with your toss out there, right?
That's right.
All right. Yes, sir. Have a great day, gentlemen. You have a great day too, Gary. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the comments. The comments, if you come back and watch a little bit later, Terry and I will timestamp all the races in the description. Any kind of interaction helps us with the algorithms, which pushes up the rankings and making us get to 10,000 subscribers faster. So we'll have to bother you less to subscribe if you haven't already. All right, we got a few more minutes, Terry, to race number 2. Did I go through my picks here in race number 6? I think I did, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
So
No,
let's go. What's that?
I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah, so race 6. So let's go ahead, and here's my trifecta now. Let's go ahead and try to blast through race number 7, Terry.
All right. So race number 7 is going to be 6.5 furlongs, claiming $15,000 claiming price, purse 28,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since January 23rd, claiming races for 12.5 or less not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
If I knew they were going to give us 3.5 minutes of conditions with 3 minutes to post, I might have skipped it. But here we go. Stalkers do great 25% of the time. Horses win wire to wire. There's a real bonus for Matty Bow, so look out for that one. 2 and 3 under par. 4 through 7, play fair 8 and out, get a discount. So give me a horse on the rail with some speed, Terry, and you might give yourself a winner. Looks like Matty Bow fits that profile.
Yeah, well, that one shows the most speed, followed up by the 3 and the 7. And then the 1 has an overlay from 2.5 to 1 to 6 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from 4 to 5 to 7 to 2. All but the 6 show us par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
And then our pace set up for the 7th race. Look at this, pretty balanced. 3 up front, 5 in the back. So speed could have a little bit of an edge here, Terry. Again, 25% of the time they go wire to wire. The horse on the rails got the most giddy up and go when the gates open. So expect Matty Bow to be pulling the cart early on. Confirmed genius. Terry will be running in 2nd place right there. Our late speed is, if I had a chance, well, if I had a chance, Scarlett Johansson would be my girlfriend, but I never had that chance. Take it to the max and Jezebel Jade, they would be also closing at the end. Top total pace horse is, if I had a chance, Terry, one of the best lines in the movie Dumb and Dumber. My favorite line is, do you want to hear something annoying? All right, Terry, tell me something that would annoy me with your picks.
All right. Well, I like if I had a chance. She has finished in the money in 15 of 19 starts at Parx Racing and won 7 of those starts as a good jockey. And then that's my pick of the day. And then the 6, Take It to the Max, is my second choice. Finished in the money in her last 9 races, winning 4 of those starts. She's and ran second versus similar in her last race. Then I like 8, Cabra Chica. She's my third choice. She likes park racing. She's been in the money for 76% of the races, winning 24% of the starts, and the distance won't be a problem as she's finishing the money 75% of the time, winning 25% of those. 7, Mended We Stand, is my long shot. She was only beaten 2 lengths versus similar to her last start, and she has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 23% of the races in the first start with that trainer. I'm going to bet $10 to win on my pick of the day, the number 4 horse, and I'm going to bet a $1 daily double, the 4 and 6 with the 1, 3, 4. And then I'm doing my last Miami Vice Don Johnson pick 4. I'm going to do the 4, 6 with the 1, 3, 4, 5 with the 2, 8, 10 with the 1, 2, 8. That's a $36 ticket.
I like the 1, 4, 5, 7 real quick. Matty Bow, big step in class. Won at this level though in the past. Parx 11 times out, 4 wins, 4 seconds. Catches weight break. If I had a chance, weight break also better fractions last out. Jezebel Jade up the speed figure in the last 3 horse races. Probably pops a little higher in the second start after a layoff. Mended We Stand could be forward. Does have the ability to close. Here's my pick 4. Race 2 is about ready to get going. Terry and I both like the 6 horse in this race, and they're off and running in race number 2. And let's see what's cooking here. Right now in the second race, we have the 2 horse on the lead, the Ferminator, Terry. And then you have 2 hits outside, the 5 horse, which is Scintillating Star. The favorite at 1-1 right now, running in 4th. The third is the 4 horse. Does look like the 1 horse, Miss Alex, way off the pace right there. They go through the opening quarter in 23 and 3. It looks like the 5 horse right now, Terry, is the one that wants to take charge, although the 2 horse is pushing them up the track a little bit. The favorite's going to have to go wide here, Terry, because the other horse just kind of cut him off. I don't know if the 6 is going to get there. It looks like the 5 horse, the next pick up, Terry, is going to beat us in both of our pick 4s here because you got kind of stuck wide there a little bit. Scintillating Star is your winner. It's going to go 5, 2, 4, and 6. 5, 2, 4, and 6. We both had the superfecta, but unfortunately somehow left off that 5 horse. Scintillating Star which was an overlay, Terry.
Yeah.
Right here, we saw the overlay. We do see that it had the best chance to be on the lead with the other horse scratched here today. It really didn't get the lead, but kind of interesting what they did in that race, because the 4-horse really blocked the 6-horse's opportunity to go between horses there, forcing it wide. And that's really what probably opened up the door for the 5-horse to run on by. I don't know. The jockey from the 2 and the 5 were talking to each other at the end there. So I wonder if the 2-horse is going to lodge a complaint or not, or what's going on there. So 5, 2, 4, 6. Although I have to admit, by Parx Racing standards, I didn't see anything there that would merit a disqualification.
No, me neither.
All right. So what are you off to race number 8, Terry? Is that where we are now? Yes.
That's it.
3 races to go, starting in the 8th race. What are we doing here?
We're stretching out to 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, $26,000 purse for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since January 23rd. Claiming races for $8,000 or less, not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
So going back to the pick 6, Terry, Scary Creations, you're going to love this one, Terry. I know you're going to smile happy on this budget, because when Terry and I talk about budgets, I'm always like, hey, man, we're doing hot dog stuff right in here, right?
Yeah.
Because, and Terry, he likes he don't want the hot dog. Terry's more of a prime rib guy, right? I'm more of a give me the Salisbury steak with the gravy kind of guy. But actually, I like good food. But he says $500, Terry. That's our budget. So we're going to do a pick 6, $500. Terry going to be pretty happy about that.
That's great.
Yeah, that is great, right? So at 1 mile and 70 yards, what we're looking for is early speed, 4 out of 10. Take it gate to wire. Rail penalty for Scott Ayaya. 2 and 3 bonus, 4 through 7 under par. 8 and out gets a bonus too. So it looks like 2, 3, and then 8 are out in 1 mile and 70 yards, Terry. Speed looks like it's in the middle there, though.
Yeah, that's right. The 4 has the most speed, as you see, and then followed up by the 2. Then the 3 has an overlay from about 2 to 5 to 2 to 1. The 3 and the 4 throw the only par plus numbers, especially the 3, and all of them show some kind of a C zone.
Again, last race out, Scary Creations on Matty Bow should be on the lead, but wish it was 6 furlongs instead of 6.5. Question if he can go that far. Well, we'll find out in a little bit. As far as our race shape for the 8th race with 3 to go here, we're looking for, not a lot of speed. Most people want to be middle back. The 4-horse Raby Shell Bell gets that lead. Look out. Might not ever give it up. Does look like that is the fastest one, although all 3 horses at least these 2 to its inside might be able to give it a run for the money. Scott Alea definitely give it a run for the money. So maybe force that horse to work a little bit harder. Unadulterated is your top late speed horse. Really not going to be all that far off the pace here. About a length and a half advantage down the stretch. That means it grades out as our top total pace horse. 8 points clear of what's likely to be your pace setter. 8 points clear is usually enough to win. And then 7 point clear of the 5-horse. So maybe an ice cold 3-4 exacta Terry in race 8. And we both start off that way. In fact, we have a trifecta that might be ice cold try right there.
Could be. I like the 3 unadulterated. She likes Parx Racing. She's been in the money 80% of the races here, 20% of the starts she's won. Distance won't be a problem as she's been in the money 66% of the time, winning 33% of those starts. Shell Bell, the 4th, second choice. She won her last race, Parx Racing. She has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Scott Alea, the 1 is my 3rd choice. She has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer, and she likes the distance. The 5 is my long shot. She finished poorly in her last race, but she stumbled really badly at the start, but won the race prior to that at Parx Racing. I don't have any more money, so no additional bets in this race for me.
I wonder what the name of this horse is. Leon Ortiz. Do you think that's the name of that horse?
It could be.
Helion Ortiz. There's a lot of different ways. Helion Ortiz. A bunch of different ways you can pronounce that one. I'm not quite sure. Thankfully, he's not in my picks, but unadulterated Terry is in my picks as my top selection right there. Always close. This horse at the very end of the races, like just a quarter of a length or a nose or something away from winning, maybe just hangs at the end of the race. And that's the case. Maybe you might want to go with Shell Bell, who did run the top last race speed figure, 7 points better than the next closest horse, which is usually enough to get the job done. More often than not, Jamie Ness and Michael Sanchez get the job done there too. If you can just repeat its last race, it would be more than enough to capture it. Scott Ayala, the one horse in there, Terry, class dropper, should be close to the pace all the way around the track and does have a little bit of late juice. Obstinate, the 2 horse, is my final choice in there, Terry. Right distance, 15 times out, 5 wins, 5 seconds, 2/3. And at times, this horse can really fire out of the gates. And if we get a fire out of the gates performance today, maybe the 2 horse can steal this one. First leg of the late daily double is race number 9. Terry, what are the conditions to kick that one off?
All right, we're going to drop back to 6.5 furlongs. It's an optional claiming race. It's $16,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed. Purse $30,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $8,000 or less since April 23rd, 2022, or a claiming price of $16,000.
So the 6.5 furlongs does favor stalkers. Still 1 out of 4 take the lead and never give it up. There's a rail bonus for Trader's Luck. 2 and 3 play under par. 4 through 7 play fair. 8 and out get a discount, Terry. So it looks like the best place to be is on the inside of the track in race number 9, particularly if you have some speed. Although this person here, Terry, is going to probably be on the lead.
That's right. The outside horses, 2 of them have the speed, 10 and the 8. None of the others show any speed whatsoever, according to our data. The 2 has an overlay from almost 3-1 to 9-2, and the 8 has an overlay from about 6-5 to 5-2. And then all of them show some kind of, I'm sorry, the 10 shows 100% par plus. So that's pretty neat. And then 8 and 2 are the next, but all of them show some kind of a par plus number, or most of them do. All of them show a good season.
So if you're new and you're wondering what in the hell are they talking about par plus, we do 10,000 simulations using speed figures to calculate who would get the best speed figure in those 10,000 races. And then it gets 10,000 out of 10,000 and causes trouble, hit a speed figure above par. Now, according to Brisnet, 88 is the average winning speed figure for 6.5 furlongs at this level. You find that in Brisnet. I think they probably do it in DRF and everywhere else as well, because it's pretty common practice to look at par. Looking at our trip handicapping for race number 9, the 1, the 7, and the 10 want to be on the lead. 4, 5, and 8 has some versatility, so they can be a little bit closer. If the pace is too slow, they can be a little bit more patient. If the pace is too fast, 2, 3, and 11, they want to close. Let's find out who will be where when the gates open. Causes trouble. Should be the speed of the speed there, Terry, though on the outside. A bunch of other horses with some pace in here, although these 2 are about 1.5 lengths to 2 lengths quicker than everybody else. They should be able to clear that inside speed. Looking at the late legs, in case they all go way too fast, of the closers, Nadude is the best of the bunch, about 1.5 lengths quicker than Datasev. Boys and Bullets, right in that mix too. Top total pace, right here, Masur, along with Nadude, causes trouble. They're considerably better, about 8 points better than the next group in here. Typically, the top 4, Terry, produces the winner about 70% of the time. Got a feeling the top 3 will produce the winner today. What do you say?
I like the 8, Mazur. He finished in the money in 8 of his last 10 races, winning 5 of those starts. He's won 4 out of 5 starts at today's distance. So he marks a lot of those boxes off. Number 10, Causes Trouble, is always in the mix, has finishing in the money in 17 of his 22 races at Parx Racing, winning 8 of those starts. He drops in class today. Nadude, that's 2, is my third pick. Finished second versus similar in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 4 is Practical Coach. He's my long shot, finished in the money his last 6 races, winning 2 of those starts and finishing second versus similar in his last race. And he has a high percentage winning trainer. No additional bets for me as I'm out of money.
All right. I like the 8 horse too. I kind of agree with Scary Creations assessment right here. A lot of good horses in this race, but it just looks like the 8 horse is a little bit better than everybody else. Every now and then, Terry, I remember Scott Hazelton when we had him on Horse Center, or maybe he was on the what do we call it? The Winner's Edge podcast or something like that. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And he had mentioned that one of the things he tries to do is, because his dad is a trainer, right? So he looks at things from the viewpoint of a trainer, and he called it the trainer intent. So when you look at this horse, okay, he's coming from optional claiming 62, optional claiming 35. Now he's coming down about in that level there where he won the last two with ease. It sure looks to me like the trainer's intent for Roberto Perez is to come in here, win this race, right, on the big class drop. He's not in for a price. So the trainer's intent is on this $30,000 purse to get the 60%, that $18,000 check to kind of probably cover the cost of, maintaining that horse for the rest of the year. So that's why I picked the 8 horse. I mean, to me, it's clear what the intent of the trainer is there. Notwithstanding that, big drop in class at the distance, 5 times, 4 of them, the horse won. The time he didn't win, got beat at the wire on a photo. So just a nose away from being undefeated at 5 at this weird distance. Causes trouble. The 10 horse Terry should be where he wants to be, on the lead or near the lead. Makes stakes level mid moves at times. So I think the threat to the 8 horses, the 10 gets the lead. They get away with, because the 2 of them are faster than the rest of the horses in the field, they get away with some slowish to moderate fractions. And as they go through the turn, that 10 horse does hit the jets where it does make huge, and I mean huge, mid moves at times. They do the 2 horse a neck and a nose away from winning its last 2 races. So not too far away from Terry's, what do you call it? Hat trick angle?
Hat trick.
So maybe dropping a little bit in class today gets the job done. And then finally, Trader's Luck, the 1 horse, was the betting favorite out versus some of the other horses in this race last time out, was bumped. And then the jockey just said, screw it at that point, took the horse up. And then I think you can toss that race because return to form might be good enough to steal this one on the hot rail. Last race of the day today, Terry, is race number 10. Tomorrow, you and I will be back a little bit later on the clock to do Keeneland on Wednesday and Thursday. Want to say thank you really quickly to Robert N. Petit, Yassine Balina, Kasai Faisai Picks, and Rick Hepner, for the thumbs up on Facebook. Facebook tells us who gives us the thumbs up. You can't be anonymous there. But on YouTube, unfortunately, they don't let us know. But if you like what you saw, thumbs up are great on Facebook, YouTube. Retweet and follow us on X. You see at Horse Race, the number 2 down there. The mothership is Facebook. So make sure you also subscribe over there. As I mentioned, our Swiss Army Sean does a great job of filling you in on the ongoings of horse racing today in a positive way. And soon we'll probably start breaking some news there as well. All right, Terry, for the last time today, what's it all about?
6 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $12,500 claiming price. Purse, $23,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
And at the 6 furlong, the most common distance, you're looking for horses that have early speed. You want to be middle forward. 34% of them go wire to wire. There is a big rail bonus for KD Cakes. 2 and 3 play fair. Get a little bit of a bonus too. 4 through 7 get a discount. 8 and out discounted, but not as badly as 4 through 7. So if you wear a 1, you wear a 2, you wear a 3, and you can run fast when the gates open, you got a good chance to win, Terry. But it looks like you're going to wear a 7 and go fast.
That's right. That 7 shows the most speed, although several of them have some kind of speed. The 2 is the second best speed, I guess. And no, it isn't. I guess
the 3.
3, yeah. Just missed it there. The
Bohemia Babe.
Yeah. The 2 has a nice overlay from about 4 to 5 to 3 to 1. And the 7 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 6 to 1. And then the 2, 7, 8, 6 show the par plus numbers, especially the 2. And then all of them show some kind of C zone.
Yes, indeed. Finally, for the last time today, trip handicapping. Most of the horses want a pilot or co-pilot, Terry. So we've seen some closers do well. Maybe we'll see closers do well in the last race, especially if too many of them get out and get after it. Cisalino, Valiant Majesty, Bohemia Babe. Well, look at this, Terry. A lot of these want to be up on the lead. So I'd imagine the pace could get a little bit hot in there, Terry. So if that's the case, look out for 88 Keys. That's the front runner there type that wants to be close to the pace. He maybe gets discouraged if it doesn't get the lead. If not, Valiant Majesty, another front runner. All right, so all the front runners have the late speed, Terry. So they'll close too. Valiant Majesty, Shizalino, the two that want to be towards the lead. Maybe the 7 with a little bit of an advantage being a PC type. 6 points clear of the next pack of horses in here, Terry. So maybe 2-7 Exacta, box him up, call it a day, and you're the only one with the 7. So maybe I don't like that philosophy at all.
Could be. I like the one, though, is my top pick, Katie Cates. Won his last race at Parx Racing, or her last race. And, I guess, is this males? Anyway.
It's 2024. Who knows?
Yeah, the Real Post is winning at a 21% clip. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Valiant Majesty, the 2, ran second versus similar in the last race. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best third speed is fastest among today's starters. Fine Whining is that's a funny name. Is the 8 horse. He's the third choice. Won his last race by 14 lengths at Parx Racing, and he has high percentage winning trainer Jamie Ness and high percentage winning jockey Paco Lopez. The number 7, Shizalino, won her last race at Parx Racing and has the highest last speed rating. I'm out of money, so I can't make any additional bets here.
So I'm going to go with that fine whining, which is what Terry and I do in our text to each other. When we get beat by a nose, it's not so fine, though. It's just straight up whining. Last time out crushed the field by 14. What was going on in the Jamie Ness barn there? Faster fractions by about 2 seconds. This horse came to life. Valiant Majesty, the 2 horse, less than a length from winning the last 3 races. Dropping in class could be a difference maker for this horse that has a 72% chance to run a speed figure above par. Katie Cakes, your top pick there, Terry. Maybe better in the third start after a layoff. Is going to also look for a win and a third in 2 races at Parx since coming over from the Naira circuit. So maybe still a little bit of remnant of track dropping in there. And then I'm going to go with that 3 horse. Bohemia Babe. Just sounds hot there, Terry. But it's going to take a bomb here to close the show. Going to make the classic third start after a layoff. And its last race was just absolutely terrible. I love those horses, Terry. Those terrible horses.
Yeah.
You do see here that I did circle that the horse has come close to par, did so back there, right? So can't get to that level. Look at this, 7th by 33. Just beautiful. I love that performance. But coming off that performance, comes out, then goes to the track on a sloppy track and runs a bullet workout. Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. So what does the trainer do? Takes it from claiming 75 non-winners of 3 and says, I'm going to put her in claiming 12-5. Now, I can't beat 7,500. They beat me by 33 lengths. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move them up. Move her up. Well, maybe that bullet work has them seeing stuff that, maybe he's got them hallucinating. I don't know. I picked the 8 last race just because the Paco should get a nice stalking trip from the outside. Yeah, I think that too. And just won that last race by 14. He doesn't really team up with Jamie Ness that often either, which is kind of surprising to me. All right, Terry, that wraps up our picks for today. Here are our full slate of selections. The first 2 races are in the books. 4 horse stumbled at the start, did manage to win. 5 horse beat the 6 and 2 and upset both of our opening pick 4s. Sorry about that, Don Johnson. For me, somehow it's always the next pick that screws me. Here are our picks for the rest of the day. Mr. Terry, again, you and I will be back for Keeneland tomorrow. Today, if you want some free picks, there's a link in the description below for Turf Paradise at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Kindly use that so they know that you watched us, and then you head it on over there on our recommendation. I do most of the handicapping over there too. So what goes into our picks at Parx goes into our picks everywhere. And then any final thoughts from you, Terry, before you and I get out of here and start prepping for Lexington, Kentucky?
Just have a great rest of the day and look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow.
Indeed. No matter what you're doing for the rest of this terrific Terry Tuesday, we certainly hope that has God's blessings, God's grace, and every single endeavor that you partake in ends up in
The winner's circle.
Yes, indeed. Look forward to seeing you on Hump Day with Hollywood Hay. Till then, have a great Tuesday.